Okay, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. It's the return of Mike's Meals. Recently, I was a guest on the Playa Benny Scala on Monte the Pharaoh YouTube channel to promote my book, Mike Messier Fight or Play Basketball, which is now available on Amazon, Audible. You can listen to me talk for 3 hours and 53 minutes. You can also buy the print version. And Benny was telling me how much he loved Mike's Meals, which was a segment I used to do on my YouTube presentation years ago, and I kind of fell away from that. And but today I'm falling back into it by request. So you might be saying, well, gee whiz, Mike, what's on the agenda for today for you? There is NFL playoff football. Can you see the heat coming from this wonderful chicken? This is from BJ's. Now this is a new BJ's. I got gas today. There was basically no line. Like, as I was pulling in, there was a couple of spots open with the gas thing on the wrong side. I waited like 2 seconds. A lady left, or a man left, somebody left, and I got to park. I like parking on the correct side, even though they say the gas pumps are so long or whatever the fuck. I like parking on the right side. Now I have to homogenize my fucking hands. I keep ointment on a side compartment of my vehicle. I keep these wonderful sanitary Purells, whatever the fucks, on the side compartment at all times. However, I wish I had a stack of napkins right about now. I'm using this head bandana as a fucking makeshift napkin. I wish I had a fork in my possession. I have so many bags. I think I have a bag with some forks, which of course I don't have. Now we're just going to dive in like a barbarian. You can say grace for me if you want, Tiny Tim. Let's eat this chicken, god damn it. It's really good chicken. It's really melt in your mouth, melt in my mouth. I think the key for me here is perhaps not to rush the experience. I'm always in a go. I'm always conquering the world. I'm a world beater. And I just have to slow down the eating process, because it's not good for the throat to rush. Probably not good to be talking so much while I'm eating, but I'm sharing this experience with you. So I just have to kind of, because also the food's very hot. It's been under the heat lamp, which I have mixed feelings about. I'm not a microwave oven guy. I hate microwave ovens. If you've ever met me in real life, and if you offer me some food and you say, oh, I'll heat it up for you, I always ask, how are you going to do that? And the typical asshole will say, oh, I'll just zap it for you. I'll microwave it for you. And I say, don't. Do not goddamn microwave my food. If I go to a diner or a coffee house or something, and they have a brownie or some type of item, and they say, oh, you want us to heat that up for you? I said, do you have a toaster oven? Oh, no, we just microwave it. Please fucking don't, okay? I mean, you assholes don't know what goes into a goddamn microwave situation. It destroys any nutrients the food might have. Now, granted, if it happens to be a brownie, there's probably no nutrients in it anyway, maybe an egg. But you don't want to microwave your food. It's the stupidest goddamn thing you can do in your life. Let's see. Chicken's very good. So I went into this place. I like the Hannibal Lecter. I like going into this fucking place because this is a brand new BJ's. I've gotten gas here. I think this is the third time. This BJ's has been open for maybe 4 or 5 weeks. The BJ's that I typically go to in this town does not have one of those infamous BJ's hot dog stands. And it kind of pisses me off, because I've heard about this phenomenon, the BJ's like dollar hot dog or whatever the fuck. So with this BJ's, I was like, man, I wonder if they have that hot dog stand in this new one. I go in, and of course, by the time I left my vehicle to the time I got into the BJ's, I forgot all about the fucking hot dog stand. Like in those 10 seconds of walking. Now I'm just in BJ's. I'm looking for a men's room. I'm looking at the free items. They have like these little giveaway things. Look at this, like a bone, just a fucking bone. Melt off the bone. What do people say? Melt in your mouth, or, you know, whatever. Cuts off the bone. People like the bone. Like they like food that falls off the bone. It just falls off the bone. Ah. Like everyone's a goddamn barbarian when they eat chicken or whatever the fuck. Falls off the bone. Right into your mouth. Okay, we get it, asshole. So I'm going in there. They have one guy. One guy has an easy gig. He's giving away like those little Finfarelli or whatever the fuck chocolate squares. Like, you know, the expensive kind of chocolates that they're all individually wrapped. So pretentious. Like it's from fucking France or something. It's from fucking Wisconsin. It's just like little chocolate squares, and they're individually wrapped. Okay, good for the environment, assholes. So this guy has to put the fucking squares in a little Dixie cup. Pretentious as fuck. So you're wasting the goddamn wrapper, and you're wasting a Dixie cup for every fucking little chocolate? Everyone's had these chocolates before. They're not a secret. Then some lady has like, she has the premium protein shake, which I typically get at the good old-fashioned Walmart, and she's taking her sweet-ass time with her presentation. Like, she's just taking forever. And I'm kind of walking by because I'd like a little bit of a free protein shake, but this lady is just taking forever, and she doesn't have it, like, pre-poured. So am I supposed to go up to you and ask for a Dixie cup full of protein shake? You know what I mean? Like, have it pre-poured. I don't want to talk. So then, some other dude has like some type of, there's a woman walking across, she's bouncing around. There's a fucking guy with like some type of quiche-like item. You know what I mean? That used to be a book, Real Men Don't Eat Quiche. It used to be a joke. Now nobody knows what it is. There's a lot of things in pop culture, folks. Like if you're always quoting Taylor Swift or whoever the fuck you're quoting, just you wait. All your little pop culture quotes and references are going to fade away like so much dust. You know what I mean? Like everything that you think is just so awesome and fucking classic, no one's going to give a shit about in 10 or 20 years. I wish I had a fork right about now, because this is very hot. It's very excruciatingly hot, yet it's so scrumptious. I think I might see a fork. I feel sorry for this bandana. Now it's like, am I ever going to wear this bandana again after I've fucking chickened it up all night? I mean, I could wash it. Look, I happen to have, just speak of the devil and the fork shall arrive. Now I have to roll down the window. Everything's so complicated. So I'm walking around. I'm seeing all these like little sample things, a mozzarella stick. And then like there's like children getting free mozzarella sticks. And it's like, this is why I'm glad I don't have a family, because it's like children are so disgusting. I mean, some of them are okay, but some of them, you just, I don't trust them. Like they've been playing in the dirt or whatever the fuck they've been doing. It's the weekend. They probably haven't showered properly. Now I've got a fork. A friend of mine has children, 2 small children and a wife, and he just went on vacation to like Thailand. Notice that I said he, not they. My friend, I mean, I won't publicly embarrass him, but like that's his vacation, is to get away from his wife and kids. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just one of those things where like, I think a lot of times people feel the pressure to do things, or to you know, oh, I need to get married, or I need to do this. And then once you do it, you're fucking miserable anyway. I mean, life is just going to be miserable no matter what you do. So you might as well just eat a hot chicken from BJ's once in a while. But I'm in there, these sniveling children. You know what I mean? And it's like, you can just tell by looking at these kids, they're nothing special. They're not going to grow up to be the president or to run Geffen Records or whatever the fuck would be an accomplishment in this world. They're just snot-nosed brats, and they're just, you know, just like right in the fucking, like the desk, you know, whatever you call it, the table of free mozzarella sticks. And these snot-nosed brats have like their elbows on the table, and they're kind of leaning in, like they're all excited. And I'm excited for the free mozzarella stick too, but it's like, give the lady a little room. You know what I mean? People don't know how to monitor their children either. I mean, that's the other problem with this world. Every generation is just so self-indulgent, and it gets worse and worse. So I'm walking around. I'm hungry. I had gone to the gymnasium. I had lifted some weights. I had gone to the freezing cold pool and swam like a man. So I'm all jacked up. I need my protein. I need my whatever the fuck, carbs, whatever the fuck I need. I'm looking around. And lo and behold, I see some woman walking around with basically what I just had, this hot chicken in a fucking thing. And I'm like, fuck, where's the hot chicken? Like, because this lady has the hot chicken. Now I'm excited for a hot chicken. And I'm like, I didn't see the hot chicken. So I go fucking walking around until I come across the hot. Now I wish honestly, if they had like a chicken sandwich, or what the ideal situation would have been like a 2 or 3 piece chicken meal with some, god damn it, some sweet potatoes, some fucking green beans. I mean, God in heaven, that would have been so nice to have like a platter, like someone like sat there and made a platter for me and like put a plastic top on it and a piece of cornbread on the side and like a fucking fork and a knife in the wrapper, like taped to the top of the plastic. That would have been so exciting. Like that would have made my whole goddamn day. But instead, nothing like that. A bag of chicken for $6.99, the Pepperidge Farm, and then like three pounds and like 7 ounces of chicken quarters. I think it was like $4.99 or some ridiculous price. And then this, which I assume is just like one bird, like this was an actual bird that was living in one piece. This was $4.99. And I'm like, how can I pass this up? I almost bought the $6.99 version just out of respect. Like, this is so cheap. I mean, I feel bad. I mean, God. I guess if I was a really nice guy, which I'm not, I would go take a $20 bill, buy 4 of these chickens, and hand them out to the homeless. I probably won't do that, though. I'll probably just watch football. But it's a nice idea. You can have it. And that's the thing with the homeless people. You always think of like nice things you could have done, but you don't really do them. You're like, oh, I could have rolled down my window because I had like this extra coat that I was going to give away anyway. And I could have rolled down my window and given it to that homeless person. And then you just don't. I really have to remind myself. I wish I had some type of sauce, like a hot sauce. I do have a mustard, and this is relatively recent. I 2 or 3 days ago, I got some type of, mustard's really underrated. In my worldview, mustard on chicken, let's try it. Mustard is, because you'd put mustard on like a chicken sandwich. I think mustard is terribly underrated. Mayonnaise, to me, is overrated. And mustard is underrated. You say, well, who's making the ratings? Underused, let's say. Because I have actually made tuna fish, like from a can or whatnot, and I've put mustard in there instead of mayonnaise, and it's probably better. To me, mayonnaise just, it tastes weird in some regard. Like, it's just, and it's just lard or whatever the fuck it is. Now I've got mustard on chicken, and you might be saying, well, gee whiz, Mike, this is unusual. Well, that's me. Okay. So I need to take smaller bites. Like I said, I'm going to give myself, what's that disease or that condition where your throat gets all the whatever the fuck. Let's try it. Smaller bites. Because I was going to go to like a coffee house and kill an hour and a half before all this football starts, but the coffee house doesn't really have good food. That's the problem. And like, I hate going to the coffee house and feeling vulnerable and exploited, to be honest with you, because it's like, I'm hungry, but the food's going to suck here. And if I order something, I'm going to be resentful because I'm just ordering something just to justify my existence in the coffee house without truly being satiated or satisfied with the presentation of the food or what the fuck I'm eating. You know what I mean? So I start to do this thing. Sometimes if I'm really hungry, I'll go, maybe to like a place like this, BJ's or even a Dunkin' Donuts, and get some type of cheapo, quicko eating situation accomplished. And then I'll go for the hangout place. You see what I'm saying? Like this is just our intimate time together. I will eat this chicken, in the confines of my vehicle. But then when I want to deal with the outside world, I'll go to a place like a Starbucks or a local coffee house. And I won't feel the pressure to order one of their overpriced menu items. I will order something, of course, but because I'm not going in there hungry, I'm not vulnerable to being exploited. Now, the trade-off is the time. Because this whole BJ's thing, in retrospect, this is costing me at least 40 minutes. Everything's a trade-off, folks. Here's the kick in the dick. You ready? I'm walking around. I'm getting free samples. I'm looking at all these wonderful cheap prices. It's a brand new BJ's. The gas situation here is really nice because all the assholes in the county haven't discovered it yet, how cheap the gas is here. You pay the $20 or whatever the fuck for a membership and you get the free gas, or not the free gas, but the cheaper gas. And then it's like, I just want that fucking hot dog. I go in, I don't see the hot dog stand. I walk around, I forget about the hot dog stand. I see the lady with the hot chicken. I get the fucking hot chicken. I get a mozzarella stick. I don't get a protein drink sample. I get a fucking chocolate square from the asshole. I get a couple of pieces of quiche. And then I go and get the fucking chicken. And as soon as I pay for the chicken, I take 10 steps and boom, hot dog stand. So where was this goddamn hot dog stand 20 minutes earlier? I could have come in, gotten $1. It's $1 for a fucking hot dog and $1.50 for the hot dog and the drink. And now I've already bought that fucking chicken. So I actually had a moment where I was thinking, am I going to buy the fucking hot dog anyway? But then I kind of looked at the people and they weren't terribly attractive service workers. It seemed like some type of teenage guy or 20-year-old guy. Not someone I want making my food for me. And then somebody else. And I just said, it's okay. I said, I'll come back another time. I'll get the hot dog. That'll be a fulfillment at that point. Like, what's it called? The delayed gratification. I know the situation now. This BJ's does have a hot dog stand. $1.50 for a hot dog and a soda. That's a really good situation. I can couple that with these coffee houses. I can really put some time in. I can get some artwork done with this situation. This is really going to be good for me, but I don't need to live it all at once. I mean, living La Vida Loca, but I don't have to fucking get the hot dog and the soda. It's because I don't really like soda anyway. I like water from the soda machine because it's supposed to be the best water. And sometimes I like those sparkling drinks or those drinks with flavor, but they're not really soda. You know what I mean? And so I did not want to. There's one that's called Caddyshack. It's like it's a zero sugar drink. It's like basically a half iced tea, half lemonade, and they call it the Caddyshack flavor. It's at the movie theater. Maybe this machine, it looked very similar. Maybe it had that. But basically, I don't need to buy their fucking hot dog and a soda once I have this chicken. It also gave me an excuse to meet with you fine folks. Now I'm at this dangerous point where I feel like I've kind of gotten my fill of chicken. The chicken is cooling off quite a bit. I don't know if the mustard cooled the temperature or just me talking so much. As the chicken loses its heat, it's not as good. In fact, I would say this chicken could really use some ground pepper, which I do not have on me. And I'm starting to eat fast, and I'm going to give myself that condition. I'm starting to lose my interest in this chicken. Yeah, I'm at that point. I'm at that point of diminishing returns. I kind of just want to spit this fucking chicken out now, to be honest with you. So should I have paid $2 more? I mean, I still have a lot of chicken left. If this was like, my parents' generation, they would like get the fucking plastic, put it over. They'd rush home and put it in the goddamn refrigerator. I'm not like that. You know what I mean? The reality is I know myself. I'm not going to eat this chicken later. I mean, this chicken and I, we're done. You know what I mean? Like there's no reason for me to put this chicken through the paces of going home and you know what I mean? Like, oh, I have to rush home to put the chicken in the refrigerator. I'm not going to fucking eat it anyway. It's like, I feel like I got my $5 worth of this chicken. Now, if there was a homeless person around here, but they probably wouldn't take it anyway. I had that situation once, years ago. I was in a fucking sandwich shop in downtown Providence, Rhode Island. And a gentleman, let's just say down on his luck, asked me for money, and I really didn't have any money, like, to give him. But I basically was sitting there with my fucking sandwich, and like the sandwich was so big and it was expensive, and I was like basically at the halfway point of the sandwich. I said, well, I don't have any more cash, but if you want this sandwich, you can have it. And he said, oh, I can't eat that sandwich. And I'm like, oh, okay, asshole. Well, go back to the goddamn homeless person meal that you were eating before you asked. I mean, don't insult me. So I've just learned that people are, you know what I mean? Up and down the roster, everyone's a piece of shit is what it comes down to. I mean, it's just like from top of the charts to the bottom of the barrel. You know what I mean? Very few people in this world are worth a heartbeat is what it comes down to. I mean, besides me and you, in my book. But I mean, I don't really think that everyone is so god-awful. I just think that when you meet strangers in these odd situations, it's very easy to get like a feeling that they're a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like if you're in traffic and somebody cuts you off or somebody's going slow, you think that they're the worst person of all time. I mean, they could be donating money to charity. They could be buying, $4.99 chickens for homeless people from BJ's. They could be doing all types of wonderful things. But because they're going slow or they cut you off or they honked at you, you want them dead. You know what I mean? But it doesn't necessarily mean that these people are evil. I just think, at least for me, if you have a situation with someone that you don't know and it's unpleasant, you pretty much pigeonhole them as not worth life. Like this person is not worth living. They have no reason to exist, because they stepped on my toe or whatever the fuck they did. I've also been getting a phone call from a friend of mine that really never calls me. And now he's called me like twice in 3 days. And of course, when I call him back, he doesn't answer. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? There's something important for this individual to call me because he never calls me. I mean, it's not like he's allowed to call me, but there must be some type of situation that's provoking these phone calls. Yet when I'm calling him back, he's not answering. So it's a little discerning or discontenting. Disconcerting? Is that the word? Discontenting? Disconcerting? Well, anyway, folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. How do I feel about this whole rotisserie chicken from BJ's? 3 pounds. It says right on the fucking label, folks, microwave safe. Go fuck yourself. I don't put food in microwaves, okay? What do I think about it? No sugar, no fiber, sodium, 14%, cholesterol, 27%. Is that good or bad? Saturated fat, 15%. What's good about this thing? Protein, 19 grams. That's good. 0% vitamin D, iron, 6%, calcium, 4%. I mean, the chicken was good. I think it's one of these deals where if you had someone like a little flavoring, like some seasoning, and I have done this in the past where I've kept like a pepper cranker, in my car. My friend Larry taught me that trick. He always had like a pepper and a fucking salt shaker, but like a cranker. And it does improve your food. People scoff, but it's like, asshole, it makes the food better. So, I mean, but some sriracha, perhaps, something to flavor that up a little bit. This was, it was good while it was hot. Like the first bite was the best. And then and really, I have to admit, it might be my fault. When I put the mustard on, it kind of ruined it. Like the temperature lowered because the mustard was, I guess car temperature. And it didn't really help matters as much as I thought. I do feel like I did a good job. Acid reflux disorder is what I was thinking of this whole time. I did not, as much as I talked, and as much as I tried to give you the full situation here, I did not give myself acid reflux as far as right now goes, because I knew the chicken was hot. I didn't force the issue. I didn't just gulp it without chewing. So I'm glad about that, because that acid reflux is no joke. It's very painful. It's one of those silent killers, because you're sitting there and like maybe it's ice cream or a hot meal and you get and there's like this painful feeling in your gullet. And then it's like you're so embarrassed and ashamed that you just gave yourself acid reflux for the millionth time. You keep on eating because you're ashamed of what you've done to yourself. I hope this asshole doesn't park next to me. And then you keep thinking, well, if I keep on eating, the acid reflux will go away, but it doesn't. It just, regardless. So anyway, folks, I've had a wonderful day so far. I've swam, I've gone to the gym, I bought a chicken. What's it called? When you get something in the future, delayed gratification. This situation really is probably just the setup to know that I know where the hot dogs are. I know where the hot dog and soda for $1.50 is. So although I did not partake today because I had already purchased the chicken at that point, I know in the future I can get gas. I don't even have to get gas, but I can come in, get a hot dog and a fucking soda for $1.50. And then I can get 2 hot dogs for $2 and do whatever the fuck I want. And then I can go to this coffee house and just get a beverage or the protein box. They got rid of the peanut butter and jelly protein box at Starbucks, by the way, which I'm pissed about, if anyone cares. And this is just wonderful. So delayed gratification, all these wonderful things. Fight or Play Basketball, audiobook, Hoopla, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, MikeMessier.com.